dice?
Hi. Look at my critical dice. They look like little
Oh,
lemon
yellow
drops.
ones.
They look
Cute.
like lemon drops. Ooh,
I got
they
it.
look tasty.
It
I want to
reminds
eat
me of
them.
this one time I went to a bar and I ordered a lemon drop and I watched them make it for me and they literally just put
Alcohol.
they filled the bottle, they filled my glass with vodka and then put a lemon in it. I was like, that's straight up vodka.
Damn. Okay.
Of course I drank it, but I was
Of course you did.
But it was straight vodka.
I was like,
why wouldn't
Jesus
you?
Christ.
All right.
Anyway. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Fabled 42 channel. This is a very laid back, relaxed recap stream. Sorry we weren't here last week. Big time my fault, sick as fuck and all. But love you all. I'm back now. And yeah, today we're just gonna touch base on the journey so far. Pretty awesome episode. Should be a lot to talk about. A lot of names I don't remember, so bear with me on that. But yeah, my name is Anne. This is a horror 5e campaign that is homebrewed by me. Repped with my homies over here. But you can find me on Dusty Wings Illustration on Instagram. Otherwise, or if you're into reptiles and pet care, you can also follow me on Ekans the BP. Rest in peace, Brian Barczak. But yeah, that's me. Go ahead and introduce yourself, GW.
Hi, I'm GW. You guys can find me on IG and Twitter under GW005, 2Bs, 2 zeros. And I'm cozy. I don't know if y'all got the memo from Discord or from looking at us right now, but it's cozy time. We are about to tell you a story in condensed fashion, and we want to be comfortable. If you have not yet gotten your hot chocolate or your tea or your blanket or those slippers that you only wear on a special occasion, now is the time. And I'm gonna toss it over to you, Mackenzie.
Hi, my name's Mackenzie. I got a cool haircut and an Eevee since you guys last saw us.
Oh my god, do I get my Cubone?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
we're doing this.
I should have given GW my Gengar.
Gengar.
First, I'll stay for your intro, then I'll go get my Cubone.
Basically, I play Toddle. He's been the longest character in this whole campaign, and I am so happy for that because I adore him and would be very mortified to have to remake him. I go by mascot. If you see me in the chat, I'm the yellow name. I'm always the yellow name. That's it.
Sweet.
I want to say thank you to. Hold on, let me look at our like little things. Thank you, Contagion, for the 5-month resub. Story time by Tick, 13 months, I think it says. Thank you. Happy to see you. Happy for you guys to be here, so we can all catch up together on basically what happened in 2023. Let's be real. We haven't done a recap episode since we did the last recap, which was covering episode 1 through 14. And like right after that, I was like, and we're gonna do a recap episode every 10 episodes. And we were like, yeah. We don't know what happened. But here we are. Like 30 something episodes later. And we're here to do this. I actually hardcore did went through the videos and like did a write-up. It took me over a week. It took all my minutes.
Oh, love you.
I love you guys. And I'm really happy with it. The only thing, so let me tell you guys right now, you guys and also chat. So I have written out the events from episode 15 to 32. Episode 33 and 37, it's going to get kind of dodgy. We're going to fill it out, but we're going to do it. But then episode 38 to 41, we're back spot on. So nice. It's going to be a good time. We have the amazing, wonderful, gorgeous DM here. Though she may not have her notebook, she has the story in her head, and it's going to be great. So
I will not remember names. Do not ask me about names. I do not remember. I can tell you everything about the character except the goddamn name.
Also, this is going to be a Q&A show as well. So the way we're going to do it is the first half is going to be the recap, and then the second half is going to be the Q&A. So this is your time. If you've ever had any burning questions for us, write them down somewhere. So when the time is right and we ask for them, you can just like put them in chat. If you never had a question for us, but all of a sudden like, oh, I have a random question, write it down so you can tell us about it when we get to that portion of the show. And let's take it away. Oh, and also if you by chance have not seen the recap from episodes 1 to 14, it is currently in the Discord. If you go to our Discord in the main channel, which is like our tavern chat, which is our general channel, I think like the last post I did, it has the link to that recap show. So feel free to put them together as you like, it's freedom of time. We're not going to go into sponsors today. We love them. But today is just a snuggle little, we're going to just tell each other a story, basically. So, I'll go ahead and get started, and we will have a giveaway too. When we hit, what's our number right now? I can't see our number.
Where? What number?
Oh, BRB, I gotta get Cubone.
What?
Okay,
yep,
go get
do
Cubone.
that. And what number? I can help find the number.
The viewer count. I can't see the viewer count.
Right now it's 10.
Okay, when we hit 15, we will be, set up for a dice giveaway.
Oh my god! Who is it with? Oh my god!
Ooh, it's gonna be great. And
who's the giveawayer?
Me. We're the giveaway.
No, I mean, never mind.
Critical Dice! It's gonna be a dice giveaway. Critical Dice, which is one of our amazing sponsors. Do I look yellow, y'all? I feel like I look yellow, but it's fine. It's okay.
Potentially.
It's alright. So, there's Cubone. Show the camera. Show everybody.
We got him. We got
our little emosaur.
You can get these. They're huge, by the way. They're so fucking big. It's great.
They're so
I love it.
They're so freaking clean too. I want one.
Do you remember when these were popular? Like they were like Pokemon pillows when you were a kid,
The same era as like the N64 era. I remember going to my friend's house and he had like all of them. I was so jelly.
I was always just one for battle. I never cared about like the plushies, but now I do. Now you make me want them. They're
What's
more
your
than
favorite
just
Pokemon, GW?
Jolteon. No, wait.
Oh,
Wait, we're not there yet. We're asking questions.
Love that.
Write them down. All right, here we go.
I got something for him.
So, starting the recap now. Episode 15. I did not write the name of the episodes. It's just like episode this, episode that. We're just going to go by numbers here. Episode 15, guys. While in hell, Tuttle and Calamity search for Lander and Fancy. Running from demonic creatures, they run into Kalzarath. Which I think is the first time that that Darian visits our campaign. Since Cal is a soul grifter who's very familiar with Hell's layout, he helps lead the party through the treacherous lands of the damned. They find that demons are... they find out that demons are drawn to powerful magic, hence why Calamity may or may not have been a problem. Calamity's power reacts to Hell's geodes that we were collecting. Tuttle calms Calamity with his butterfly contraption. You call it the butterflight.
The butterfly.
Yeah, just as Calamity's powers were getting a little bit out of control from the geodes, Cal guides the team to the gatekeeper, quote unquote. Unseen demons watching the team through scrying plate, all while we're traveling through hell. So we learned that something had a watchful eye on us the entire time we were down there, probably triggered by Calamity's spastic magic. Episode 16. And Anne and Mackenzie, feel free to charge in if you remember anything specific about that episode or anything. Feel free to be like, also.
So at this point, at episode 15, we had already lost 3 party members, right?
Correct.
So Dutch, which was Nate's character, was the first to go. He was mauled by the werewolf.
Sad day.
Then we had Terrence, which was Omar's character, who turned evil, and me and GW had to absolve him.
Died via exorcism.
And then during Hell, when Lander and Fancy got separated, Fancy also met her demise as well. Had she already met her demise at this point?
Nope. So you got there early, but it's great. It's fine. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Okay.
It's wonderful.
Excuse me.
No, you're great. Episode 16. This was one of my favorites because I literally only had to write one thing. It was very much a traveling action-packed show. So episode 16. The only thing that I had to write down was the Smalls go through trials and tribulations. That's all you need to know. There were tons of things. Oh, and from this particular episode, I have a question for you later, because I was curious about it. But yeah, that episode was full of literally just trials and tribulations of the Smalls trying to just avoid death, get to where they're going. It was a clutter of awesomeness. Episode 17. Talo learns that Calamity doesn't know he has powers. Knowing that he does makes him self-conscious. Fancy dies in a demon battle with Lander. Lander contacts Talo to meet him in the city of the first layer of hell. Pink Girl, in quotations, her name. She told us her name was Kay, a pink tiefling. Tells the team that Lander is on the 9th layer of hell. Kay sends team to a guy that was said to be in the next door over, but in a very secret tunnel. Kay tells secret tunnel. Kay, where are you? Kay tells team her twin sister can get us out of hell. Her sister lives in the tower. She gives us a green gem to give to her. New quest item. Calamity offers Kay 3 drops of his blood so that she would give Tottle a magic vial of a curse. Though the thing that dwells within him attacked her of its own accord when Calamity's skin was pierced, possibly making a grudge, and the team ran off into the secret tunnels.
And meanwhile, before Fancy died, it was kind of a long, almost days-long battle. Looks like Lander and Fancy did face-to-face with one of the generals for one of the hellish armies, I suppose, along with a couple of her subordinates, who were enormous demons. And they did fight them, unfortunately, until Fancy's death. She didn't survive it. Lander was there to meet her moments before she dies. She does hold on until she can see him again, and she does die in his arms. And they're in a place where there's just, I don't know, it's just, there was always echoes and hands reaching out to them, coming from the ground, trying to pull them as if deeper into hell. It was really hard to maintain their sanity the whole time they were here. It looks like this place was cursed with what looked like millions of souls that were tortured from war. As far as what wars, it's unknown, but So far, Lander and the Smalls have been here for, well, a long ass time, and it's really wearing them down, and it's been really difficult, but they are ever closer to finding an escape.
Yes, perfect. Thank you. Episode 19. Two figures on hell bikes wearing black cloaks closing in. Ooh, did I skip anything? Hold on. Nope, I didn't. Sorry. Episode 18. Here we go. In the tunnel, we come across a tiefling man who's seemingly couldn't speak common, who was stabbed by another. After healing him, he tries to bargain with Calamity to take his leg for a bionic leg. Calamity declines. As the Smalls begin to leave the tiefling, he stops them and without words tells them that he is an alchemist. Honoring the rules of equivalent exchange, he shows his chest that was once, moments ago, covered in stab wounds, now healed by Toddle's potions, and gives them a seal of teleportation to another location in hell. He vanishes in a bow of thanks. With the seal, they teleport to what they believe to be their final destination, to Lander. Meanwhile, Lander happens upon a huge Sphinx statue, face of a woman and body of a dragon. Having an urge to attack it, he follows the impulse. The damned souls that have been wailing and trapped in the terrain all seem to react to the damaging of the statue. So Lander continues. The Sphinx statue comes alive and begins to retaliate. At this point, the Smalls travel through a beam of light to Lander's current plane. Still being a good distance from Lander, the Smalls find themselves in a cavernous room with interesting items, among which was a book of necromancy that Calamity snagged for Toddle. After drawing blood... Yep! After drawing blood, the Smalls notice that 3 hellhounds are chasing them. Trying to escape the hounds, the Smalls finally run into Lander. In the fray, Calamity has a bad luck blitz that makes all his fur fall out. So shit. He's naked.
Naked Morat.
Almost simultaneously, it seems that all his eldritch powers stopped working, leaving him a helpless, nude rabbit for the slaughter in hell. Episode 19. Is there anything any of you want to add to that before we go to the next?
I think I don't remember, but when Darian came in with Cal, was that the first guest we had? Everybody else was
I think that was the first guest.
I
think he was the very first guest that we had on the show. Yeah.
We did learn too while you guys were in kind of in those side rooms. I think this is when you learned, because it was the same place you found the book of necromancy, was all the tapestries, and you learned more about the families that ruled kind of the world that you were all living in.
Yes. Episode 19. Let's see what we have here. Oh, no, that's the one I just did. Episode 20. Go with episode 20. Let's see. Oh, I see. No. Sorry, guys. Episode 19. 2 figures on hell bikes were wearing black cloaks closed in on this battle between the Sphinx and the party. With a turn of luck, Kalzarath teleported into the battle, tailing the 2 figures on bikes. The fight goes badly as the team is being attacked from all angles, but right before the Sphinx... why does that deserve a whoop?
Woo! No. We're gonna die in hell.
Oh god.
And then we didn't.
It was
But-
very likely.
But right before the Sphinx makes its final breath weapon move, something happens. Calamity finds himself in a realm of utter black. In the presence of another black-furred herring gun wrapped in silver armor and purple robe. He was looking into the eyes of the long unknown god of the void. He blessed Calamity with the vision of his friends dead from battle, but the power to change it. On Calamity's return to the present, there was a wave of black, a surge of potential which refilled the party's power. With this newfound strength, together they defeated the Sphinx. Before they could finish him, the last Hellbiker ported out of the fight. Turns out the Sphinx was actually the turret placed in this realm to keep these souls trapped. Once it was defeated, all of the good souls of the warriors who had fallen in the Great War over 100 years ago, along with the team's friend Fancy, were finally freed. In the aftermath, Calamity takes the mysterious black stone mask from one of the bodies that were tailing them via the Hellbikes. Toddle, after fixing it up, takes the Hellbike and also receives a willow seed from Lander. From Lander's translating the past inscriptions that Toddle marked down, we found that there are actually 4 turrets in total. One to keep those souls trapped, one to control the multi-leveled reality in the plane, and the other 2 still a mystery. In an attempt to be funny, Lander scares Calamity, which sets off a thunderous power explosion, thus getting the attention of a group of figures that began to make their way towards the team. Before we go to episode 20, does anyone want to chime in here?
This was a huge turning point for the story. This is
Yeah.
when the balance were tipped in the good's favor for the first time since the Ancient War. So far, evil has ruled the planet, and that's where these folks have come from. That's all these characters have ever known, is famine, corruption, and evil in general. Everywhere, and you would notice earlier in the journey, every village they went was probably destroyed or overrun just days after leaving. Everything was chaos, death was common, and that's just the world that they've always lived in. And they have never known anything else. And without the team really knowing what's happened at this point, this makes a huge impact. They've unknowingly destroyed one of the strongest turrets there is, arguably the one that's the most difficult to get to because it's literally in hell. Releasing all of the souls, which kind of fuel Hellish Army and their power. Now it's totally gone for them. They have nothing. They're starting from zero. And this small team were the ones to do that. So it's at this point now they are wanted criminals from pretty much, they're not safe anywhere. This has totally turned the story around. Where is this going? Why did the Zero God get involved? Out of all the times he wasn't, he chose to get involved at this moment because he had the opportunity and he had a connection to Calamity. But what's the connection and why? Of all the times, why now? And that's where we're at this point.
Thank you. Also, we did hit 15 views, so we will be having a dice giveaway. If we hit 20, we will have another.
And I'll pull out a different Pokemon because I have a few of these.
Speaking of 20, episode 20. All right. Hands bursts from the ground, grabbing Lander and pulling him through the rubble. Seems hell will do anything to keep him here. Kalzarath scratches the back of his neck and vanishes. Tuttle casts invisibility and Tuttle casts invisibility on himself and the remaining team to stay undercover from this approaching group. The group that they saw coming their direction consists of 2 giants. Armor looks like they had armor of black tar. A group of tieflings and a woman with a long red dress. A giant sword that almost touches the ground, and hair in a bun, face covered in a black mask. Though she looked tiefling, her skin was a regular flesh tone, and she had hooves. I don't think we ever learned more about her. The Smalls duck into a room so they can have time to fix the Hellbike that got damaged in the fight. Among other items, 4 family tapestries. A human family, a family of dark elves, a family of a combination of Furbolg and Tabaxi, and a ruined and burned tapestry that seemed to be a family of tiefling. Also in the find of items, the team found the witch's power source. We covered this back in the recap between episode 1 and 14, but one of their long ranging goals, one of their earliest quests in the game, like way before Calamity even joined the party, was to they made a deal with a witch on the mortal plane who was at the time in the body of a cat. She said that if the team found her source that was stolen from her, bring it to her, and I'm sure amazing things will happen. Maybe she'll grant us 3 wishes. I don't remember. I don't know. But amazing things will happen.
She'll give you belly cat rubs.
Belly cat rubs. And we finally found it in hell in episode 20, y'all. Putting their minds together, the Smalls realized that these tapestries depicted the 4 main families that ruled their dark world. They live in their own cities across the realm. The human family are over agriculture and lives on a series of islands to the south. The Tiefling family are in league with the hellish army that won the war. The Dark Elf family is over knowledge and are said to have all knowledge ever written. They are said to have a giant library in their city that's never been found. Toddle fixes the Hellbike and gives it extra benefits from the different geodes that we found. Invisibly, the Smalls leave the area and decide to continue to find Kay's sister in the tower for help. Anything you want to add before we move to episode 21?
A little bit of insight on the families here. I'll talk about the Tiefling family first. It's the Marion family. It's the largest family with the Great King.
Oh, we getting names? Oh, this is the first time I'm hearing about names.
Oh yeah, you would have known this when you were learning about it back then. But
okay.
Largest family with the Great King, another king, queen, 3 sons and 2 daughters. The kings are presumed to be a romantic couple. The rest of the family belonging to the Great King, which includes his wife, the queen. This family are a family of tiefling that rule over the majority of cultists. The queen rules an army that is only rumored to be the deadliest there is, even stronger now in numbers since the Great War. Not only do they have hell power, they have binding contracts with the second largest city. The city in which they reside in is nestled in the Deadlands, kind of an expanse desert wasteland. And it has its own first line of defense. The land around it is barren and the ground underneath stirs with predatory creatures. The city itself is modern in design. Most structures are black or slate gray in color. The population of the city is the second largest, and it is rumored to have the ability to jump different dimensions.
Oh,
the Tyrrhic The Tyrek family consists of a king, queen, and one daughter. This is the family of dark elves, and it's where we're all headed to now. Family of the Dark Elves is known as the City of Secrets due to their knowledge of old histories that were burned during the Great War. This family has full control over agriculture across most of the world, as well as act as judges in order to keep all families accountable for their pursuits.
Ooh.
They keep the balance, and in result bow down as the carrier of less power and ensuring their family and wisdom survives. They also have control over some of the most potent sources of magic. This city is hidden where the icy mountain ranges meet. This city is the third largest city, and is rumored to be the reason there have been separate genocides for the paladin as well as the druid. The Kalik family, the second most powerful family, consists of humans. A king that was most recently found dead, leaving the queen, the son, and a daughter. Their city is on a crescent-shaped series of islands and holds the most population out of all other cities. This family, their ancestors, crucial strategists for evil during the Great War, have control over most continents from Crusade alone. The sheer number of armies they manage could take on an evil army all on its own. They are also in charge of the oceans with fleets of ships at the ready. Despite all this, is to be feared in this world, most people fear the Kalik family the most, as they have eyes everywhere, and their network is so vast that threats would be hard to anticipate.
Wow. Yeah, they need to go. I agree.
Insight.
Insight, yeah.
I came prepared as well, GW.
Wow! You fooled me! You 100% fooled me. You're like, oh, where's my notebook? Oh. Wow.
I did still lose the notebook, but...
That is some heavy shit. God damn.
Yeah, they need to go. They need to go.
Yeah, the humans are actually probably the fucking worst, to be fair.
Fun fact.
Because they're just full of
foreshadowing.
Yeah.
That is fucking awesome. You heard it here first, folks. You're hearing it with the players.
Exactly. Yeah. For real though.
All right, next.
Those motherfuckers need to die slow.
Episode 21. While the Smalls ride through the hellscape on their new engine bike, bumping the song Highway to Hell, headed to the tower in the far distance, and another location far off traveled a large group of the damned. Beyond the countless souls being released on the turret's demise, there were other side effects from the great beast. When the Sphinx exploded, it released a radiating well through the realm, followed by a massive shockwave. The sound and the power of the shockwave woke most damned from their trance. This large group, being dragged by numerous devils, are bound by splintered rope, gagged, blindfolded, and mindlessly walking to an unknown destination until the shockwave of the well hit. Almost every mindless prisoner in the group wakes from their mental shackles, including Avaran.
Avaran intro time! Pew pew!
After freeing himself from his bounds, he stealths away from the group and the watchful eye of their oppressors. Avaran begins to be chased by demonic wyverns, but in the midst of it, he has a vision of the goddess of the earth. Touched by her power, he awakens from his vision with her symbol on his breastplate, a pink cherry blossom. The Smalls, thinking that the wyverns are following the blue fire trail, turns off the engine bike's trailblaze feature, slowing their speed. Meanwhile, Avaran is fighting for dear life, while simultaneously tracking the Smalls' bike. In the midst of the fight, he triggers a new power that the Earth Goddess blessed him with, the ability to see through another creature's eyes. and with a power boost from the goddess, takes command of the creature. He takes control of one of the wyvern and uses it to kill the other, then killing itself. Tuttle, seeing the battle between the wyverns, gets thirsty for wyvern parts and makes a U-turn towards the action. Avaran finally meets the team as the Smalls roll up to harvest the wyverns. Avaran then joins the party.
Yeah, Avran is touched by one of the gods and is given the ability to scry into larger creatures. How to get in touch with that power is unknown, just like the Zero God with Calamity, but the power is there and resides in them somehow.
I love it. I feel like in this episode, I don't know. I feel like Tuttle was like peak Tuttle. Like I just imagined him like on the motorbike, and like we had like our goggles. Highway to hell. And you even in the show, like you, Mackenzie, had this look on your face like fuck yeah. Like it was.
I remember.
It was so cool. I loved it. I loved it all. And like I was really thinking in that episode, like how the fuck, because. Like, you know, the Smalls, like, we don't want to be in hell. We're on a mission, and, like, turning back just seems, like, improbable to us. And so the entire time when Avaran was fighting this beast and, like, Chris was trying to, like, get to us, I was like, how the fuck is he gonna get to us? Like, we're not fucking turning around. So me, the player was just like, what can we do? What can we do? And, Mackenzie, just by herself, was just like, wait, dragons are fighting behind us? Parts. And then like,
I know more.
And like made perfect sense. And I was like, fuck yeah!
Well, it's funny because earlier on the quest and during the hell quest, you know, you guys found that demonic turtle thing. Like and you harvested that. So I just imagine like you have this like crazy motorbike harnessed by like old strap metal from like old ancient hellish warlords, and then there's just like scraps of meat and like hides from like the fucking turtle and like all these creatures that were harvested just kind of like strapped to the back and sides of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, fucking fair.
I loved it.
Pretty much. That's how it goes.
Episode 22. Avaran and Calamity get to know each other a bit more over a campfire in hell while Tuttle builds a number of items for the party. Amongst the things shared, Avaran told Calamity that small people can do big things too. Till this day, those words echo in Calamity's mind. Unknown to him, his confidence grows day by day with those lingering words of wisdom. The following morning, the team woke to trembling ground. A stampede of creatures were headed their direction. The team used their skills to quickly get out of the way of the oncoming herd. They realized that it was a herd of fire elans, and that only something of great concern would ever make that magical pact move. They were running away from the city that the team are headed to, now seeing that their stacks of smoke trails from beyond the city walls. The team makes their way towards the city, following the path that the herd left in their wake. As luck would have it, Avaran found a new favorite sword stuck inside a hollow stump, the snake sword. And as luck would have it, the team abruptly gets attacked. Anything you guys want to add to that?
Just surviving. Do.
Just out here surviving.
Just surviving.
All right. So, going to the next episode. Episode 23. The team is attacked. 23, baby. The team was attacked by two creatures. One favoring a panther with mouths on two tails and a giant poisonous turtle. They defeat the creatures and harvest their bodies. Calamity and Avaran talk about their powers and how they are triggered. They figure out that both of them are new to the idea of having magic, so maybe they can grow their understanding together. Also, conversing on how they were both touched by gods and what that means. They also come across a coin-like jade gem that Everin believes to be ancient currency used by the human family that Everin actually knew the name of, the Calic family. So this is actually the first time, besides Anne telling us right now, this is our first time hearing that their name was the Calic family, and so that tells us that Avaran, it went over my head, like, during the game, but on my watch back, I was just like, oh, Avaran has some history of this. But I'm so glad that Anne gave it to us. It was so juicy. It was so good. I
love building those families.
After that, the team reaches the walls of the city, which seem to be unguarded and with a large crevice in it. Thinking it would be best to be at full strength before entering the city, the team makes camp in the outskirts of the city wall. Going towards.
Thanks for the sub, Colin.
Colin, buddy, hey! I hope you're doing well. I love hearing.
Hey, girl, hey!
I love your band and your saxophone skills. I can't wait to hear more from. What's the name of your band, Colin? Uncle something? Remind me, Colin.
Saxophone, hell yeah.
Yeah, Colin is a sax player in my
Uncle Beef's band.
That's what
Love
it is.
that.
Uncle Beef's band. Y'all need to check them out.
I love the saxophone.
All right. Is there anything that you guys wish to add from episode 23 before we move on?
Seems like we were fighting some stuff and got work done, and I harvested things, and that's how it goes.
Yep.
That was a lot of hell, but having Avaran definitely helped the little ones, even though we
The
pack
tallest
a punch ourselves.
one.
Yeah, we pack a punch ourselves, but
We sure do. But we wanted to make him feel good. We wanted to make him feel special. So.
Exactly.
All right, episode 24. Toddle, and this first one, like I'm gonna try to kind of read it the way I meant it. This first one, I literally just like wrote facts and just left it as that. But in our talk, during our team talk when we were camping outside of the wall, Toddle mentioned to us that he has no god. That the gods never did anything for him. He does not throw his faith in them. And he also mentioned that if he loses Lander, it's enough to break him or do something that could be seen as unsavory. I think we were too nervous to ask about that. We just kind of
swooped that under the rug.
Tuttle says that he needs Lander. Tuttle needs Lander for plans. Calamity asked what Tuttle's plans are with Lander, and Tuttle politely refused to answer. Tuttle crafts a magical locator item to plant onto Lander when they meet again. Avaran scopes out the crevice. Go ahead, Mackenzie.
I was just gonna say they meet again. Little did they know.
Avaran scopes out the crevice in the city wall, and notices that no one is around, almost as if it's a ghost town. On the full team's approach to the crevice, this giant, gaunt, loose, fleshy creature with 4 arms appears through, like pushing itself through a mirage. After an awkward conversation, the creature lets the team in after seeing the pictures of Lander and Kay's twin sister that Toddle drew on the fly. Smoke came... Oh, yeah. So this is what we figure out once we enter the city, where the smoke plumes were coming from. There is what seems to be an excavation site where they were excavating the bones of a sand dragon.
Yes.
Looking upon most other activity with the different plumes of smoke, Toddle figured out that Hell is making some kind of weapon. This creature is being excavated, and all these other ores and whatnot around are planned to be combined to make some kind of weapon out of this thing. Calamity finds the black mask he's had from the Hellbiker is actually magical. Its ability to see, it has the ability to see invisibility, magic auras, and more. Guards meet the team at the tower and escort them up via a central plateau that rises upward. The guards attempt to kill the team while they are trapped on this rising platform. In the midst of the battle, Toddle has a vision from the god of impulse and awakens with a new power that annihilates the guards.
Yeah!
We end out by everyone staring at Toddle, shocked.
Now, real quick insight on the gods we know of so far. Maybe some spoilers, maybe not. I don't think so, because I've unlocked this for you guys. But so everyone has their power now. So let me review. These gods are known to take the form of a mortal being when wanting to be heard, but most forms are unknown. The only ones known are mentioned below. And I can't recall if you guys have already uncovered a couple of their appearances or not since I've written this, but Braylon is the god of the 12 hells. Braylon's form is known as a Leonin with a red mane, clad in gold and horned armor. His eyes burn like blue flames. One of the gods that helped the side of evil during the Old War, his form has been seen the most, and there are paintings, textiles, and records of his appearance in great detail. Silas, god of dark matter, aka the Zero God, form unknown, but now we know as the form of rabid people. Paragon.
Paragon. Paragon.
Yes. Thiago, the god of earth. Thiago's form is written about in druid poetry as taking the form of a large turtle, carrying a staff made of gray stone. Every surface she touches sprouts life and is known to have regenerative powers. Orson, the god of sky, form unknown, was rumored to be seen a few hundred years ago traveling through the skies, but could have been confused for an asteroid. Maynard, the god of instinct, or impulse, form unknown, but I believe we know now as Aarakocra. All records of him from the Old War has been hidden. So there's a couple of them, and then there's one last one, Mateo, the god of light and death. Mateo takes the form of a human man. He is known to appear in people's dreams, whether it's to vanquish their nightmares or guide them through subconscious discovery. There isn't much else known about him other than his familiar being the one to lead you into death. His familiar is in the form of a dog, but the type of dog varies with each creature who dies. There is recovered scripture that suggests that it's not always a dog, that it is a creature you have met in your past that has already passed on and has volunteered to be the one to guide you.
Okay, bet.
Deep. Very deep. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Anne.
Episode 25. With a stunned Tuttle, the team arrives at the grand doors at the top of the tower. After reaching through to the other side with the message spell, he was able to reach someone beyond. They said that you would have to fight to get through the doors, that they were not able to open them for us. Fighting their way through the invisible phantasm-like guardians, the doors opened. Beyond the door lied Kay's twin, a dark Azamar, and Lander held aloft in a cage. After defeating the Azamar, Tuttle climbed to the top of the cage to set Lander free. But once Lander awoke from his trance, he released an immense shockwave of power, knocking all out but Kay's twin and Calamity. Lander then grabbed the witch's source from Calamity, but left the bag of holding, saying, "Everything goes to her." Then disappeared.
The Great Betrayal episode.
Yeah, I have so many feelings.
What happened in the time that it took Lander to be by himself in hell for just a few days to end up have turned to the dark side? What was the plan? What was the ploy? And why? Why would he turn on those closest to him? I think my favorite moment of the episode, like everyone's kind of battling and just trying to get through like the enemy in front of them, whereas Toddle's vision was immediately on Lander only, and like literally fought for his life to get to Lander to free him because of how important he was before he was blasted into unconsciousness. So that part and that choice in the character I thought was very heartwarming and made the betrayal even tastier.
It was super betrayalistic.
Yes.
Very upsetting to be me.
I honestly, I don't think any of us were thinking that was going to happen. I think we literally was going to be like, "We found him!" Like, I think, yeah. And even, I think once we got there, like, you even had Butters on the call. And we were like, "We did it!" And then that.
And then we didn't. We did it, then we didn't.
Yeah, we definitely planned that beforehand.
It was lovely heartache. Episode 26. Everyone revives and Calamity tells the team what happened. Tuttle thinks Calamity is a liar and he believes Lander would never do that. Tuttle now has to fight with the fact that a god chose to bless him and that Lander doesn't want any part of him. Kay's sister introduces herself as Evie. The team tells her of their adventures. She has new hope that the gods are moving towards a new war, and tells Calamity that the god of the void is the most powerful god and has never intervened on any matter in history. In a rage, Tuttle destroys his tracking device after hearing that Lander is a Hell General now. Evie says she's going into hiding soon, as Hell has its ways of discovering that she helped us. She gives us 3 rings. They are able to cast Pass Without a Trace and able to deflect all attacks. Evie then teleports the team back to the material plane. Though only the team was ported, they felt another presence come through with them. They appeared in a graveyard on an island and someone was waiting for them. They introduced themselves as Vera and said that their Lady Shar sent them to help us. Evie mentioned a city where great knowledge. Evie mentioned a city where they have great knowledge to Tuttle, asking Vera to take us there. Vera said they can assist, but that they would need a crew. The team makes their way to the nearest island town to recruit.
Vera enters the chat. So
Yes.
as soon they are ported right out of hell pretty quickly back onto earthly ground where it's nice, still shitty but quiet. There are birds chirping, and Vera is already waiting and standing before them.
And we're not in hell.
And yes. And unfortunately, the moment that Evie does port you both, she seems to have unlocked some sort of curse that had her die in the process.
Oh,
so
shit!
So the team did not know that Evie died soon after porting them out of hell.
Oh my god! I remember at the end of that episode. I mean, the characters didn't see it, but like us, the players, like heard you say it. I do remember you saying at the very end that after the team was gone, Evie looked down and found like a dagger like in her heart, and I was like, oh my god! But I was hoping that she lived through it. Fuck!
Ah, she did.
Damn
she
it!
Dead as hell.
We really liked her. She was so pretty.
Can you
and
bring
nice.
her back now?
I mean, you have the Book of Necromancy.
We do. We do.
Real true girl.
God damn it. Ugh, but we liked her. She was like, and that character, Evie, was like the perfect blend of like cute, but edgy and knowing and sassy, but also reserved. Like it was a perfect, that character was so perfectly blended.
I know. I liked Evie a lot.
I loved her. And funny story, Evie was actually, I don't want to say it was a retcon name, but we came up with Evie because I think you couldn't find your notebook and you had to make up a name on the spot. But
As per usual.
I think her original name was Chrysella.
Chrysella!
The reason why I know that is like from our last recap from episode 1 to 14. You were just like, hey, when you guys get to hell, look up this bitch, and you pulled her up. She was like, she's hot. And you're like, this is Chrysella.
Yes.
Crysella's awesome.
Yeah,
but
we love Evie. We love Evie. We love Chrysella.
She's also very dead.
Ow, I wasn't expecting that. Episode 27. Calamity fills in Avaran how he met Tuttle and how they've only known each other for a short time. Tuttle groans like an old man about betrayal and lets it slip that he needed Lander to kill someone. On inspection, Tuttle just said, "You didn't hear that," and walked away. Sounds...
You heard nothing.
Yeah. And me and Calamity and Avaran just kind of like stared at each other like,
this bitch.
Sounds like the world knows of the party's adventures in hell, so the team must disguise themselves. The team arrives in a port city of Oath, where they begin to seek crew. The first tavern they walk into, oh my god. Tuttle kills a man for being rude to a waitress, setting the tone for his mood descent downward spiral.
Yeah, I was in a bad mood.
You were. You just murdered someone right there. The waitress guides the team to a possible crew. While going on the path, they notice someone watching them and following them, kind of like eyes in the darkness, and they went to follow. Anything you guys want to chime in on that one?
Killed a motherfucker.
You really did.
Yeah.
That's mad.
This island is really strange, kind of a neutral port city. Not a lot really. I mean, there are people who live there, and everyone you've come across so far on this island has been pretty cordial, besides the typical like misogyny and that kind of thing. But otherwise, you see a mix of cultists, other travelers, different races. It seems like a lot of different people kind of go through this city, just as just passing through. So
yes, one of the I think we learned that. Oh, I actually have this written actually. So episode 28. Following what they think has been stalking them, the team finds what seems to be a crazy old rat man. Turns out he's possessed and attacks the team.
I remember this day.
After defeating the demon, the team saves the rat man before death could take him, and the team continues down the dark alleyways of the city. I love that this one was like not too much lore happened, so I was just like, oh, wonderful.
No, that was a good episode. I do. If you have, what episode did you say? That was 24? No.
29. That was episode
29.
No, 28. Sorry, that was episode 28.
28. Go. It isn't a lot lore wise, but I do remember having a lot of fun on that episode. That's a good battle episode for us.
It was.
That was a lot of fun.
Good fun. Anything
Noted.
you wish to add, good DM?
nope.
We
I like the
saved
rat
him!
man.
Perfect.
We
did
saved
save-
him instead of killing him.
I totally thought you would just kill him. I totally thought, but no, I'm glad he's around. Actually,
Yeah, I know we're like, anti-hero. Well,
Yeah.
we're not. So I don't see us as like, we're not bad guys, but we're not really heroes yet. Maybe.
Yeah, we're
I think we're accidental heroes, but I see our team more as like anti-heroes. But in that moment, like I wanted to be good because Calamity's good.
yeah,
He's just a coward.
right.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
And to be good in a world where you exist is really hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
I was just telling the team a couple of days ago, I was just like, hey, we're like a good team in a world of evil. I think we're the bad guy. I think everyone sees us as the bad guys.
Technically.
Yeah.
I found that really interesting. I really liked that contrast and that kind of thought experiment that you didn't know that you gave it to me, but you like randomly one day, and like I was thinking about your story and your world, and you just randomly gave me like a thought experiment, and I was just like, this shit is deep.
Well, yeah, I mean, as far as the world that exists, it's very stable, but it's stable for a very particular, like imagine if like the 1% of the US like ruled everything, like they're fucking happy. Like they don't have to pay taxes. If they wanted to kill someone and they don't have to go to prison, like it's set up for them. But and in this world it's very much the same. Those who hold power are very content with how things are running, and things are, getting spread out evenly, but for only a very small percent of the population. So so to them things are good. As soon as you stir it up to make it even for everyone else in society, it's like it disrupts them, because then they have to sacrifice a lot.
Politics.
I really love, and like right before I go into episode 29, I do want to just add, since because he just said that, and I really like how without like shoving it down our throats, at least I feel this way anyway, without shoving it down my throat, like you put in like politics in this world that like really makes you think. Like if politics were completely like if they were completely unchecked, this is your world. But like I like how you just kind of disguise that in like a dark world, and it's fun, and you just kind of have to fight your way through.
Yeah, they're like little things. Like the werewolf episode was one of my favorites back when what was one of the early episodes, and it was
Mhm.
just a straight up werewolf story. Like someone's tearing apart all the citizens in town. Who is it? And you have to like investigate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But when you discover who the werewolf is, it's like you expect in like a normal story. It's like, oh, like we just prosecute the werewolf guy or the kid. But then instead, they take matters into their own hands, and they just
Mhm.
the entire town tears this freaking 16-year-old kid apart. And
Yep.
like, was he even able to help it? Like he was just cursed, and
Yep.
he had no choice. Yet the
Bad
villagers
day.
like, fuck this kid anyway.
Yeah, bad day to exist,
And
y'all.
that's when the whole team was just like, we're just gonna back away slowly. We're gonna just leave. Because it's like, for a moment, you think there's a glimpse of normality, and then you realize, like, oh, this
No.
place is still a fucked up society.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a moment you feel like
We
the
need
hero,
to
and then it's
leave.
like, oh, wait.
Time to go.
Yep.
All right. Episode 29. Outside of the Grand Gates, Avaran meets a flirty tiefling woman,
Oh,
and they end up making a plan
babies.
for
They're making biscuits.
they end up making a plan for a date for the following morning. And also
This starts the Avaran
Oh.
love line.
it's so good. I was literally talking to Chris today about it. But yeah, so these I forgot to write this in there, but the grand gates that we find her in front of, actually, when we're still tracking like what was stalking us, and we come to these huge gates. We don't really know what's beyond them yet, but this is where we find this tiefling woman that, in a hope to distract her from like the almost dead body of the rat man over his shoulder, and Tuttle was doing something at the time that was extremely sketchy. I think he might have been like trying to break into a store.
Yes.
But Avaran was like trying to distract this tiefling
I
woman.
do that.
Yeah, you do that, yeah. And they end up setting a date to meet the following morning. Go out.
Aww, cute.
Beyond the gate lied a cemetery. Within, the team encountered a large group of tabaxi who offered to be the team's crew. The deal they made was once the ship reaches its destination and the tabaxis are home, the ship would be theirs. Vera agreed, then a drinking party ensued.
A good drinking party.
Get turned.
Calamity got so hammered. Here we find that Avaran loves cats because he took a tabaxi woman to bed that night.
Yeah, and
Yes,
she was
he did.
and he rolled high performance check, whereas she rolled pillow princess.
Mm-hmm. And I actually have that written here. The performance roll said that they had wild animal sex.
That's incredible. Good job.
Oh, thank you. And that's how we ended episode 29.
Such a good time. The Avaran love arc is just a 10 out of 10.
It's amazing. They even rolled initiative. We'll talk about it in the next
We'll talk about it. I have it written down. We'll talk about it. All right.
That was so fun, though. It was nice to have a lighthearted moment, because in my mind, it was the first time, because I thought about the crew, and before what fucking ensued later with the aboleth, I thought you guys would be with them for a long time, and you still are. But I'm like, so it has to be a group of people that you guys vibe with. And it's going to be kind of your moment of peace in this. Like, you guys just got back from hell, and you've been traveling on foot for fucking ages. You're probably exhausted, overwhelmed.
Let
and then
me
you
tell
finally,
you, girl.
yeah, and then you finally meet some fucking folks that are just trying to do the same thing you're trying to do, that have somehow found each other and are just trying to survive, just trying to get by. And you both realize that you did need each other. So I got really into making all the characters on the crew, and it was just a good time. And I figured, what better way to get to know each other than crack open a couple of bottles of whiskey.
Yeah, and take one to bed.
Ale. Yeah.
Episode 30. After recovering from their hangovers, the team heads toward the ship, but got distracted by what seemed to be a warp in an alleyway. Going to investigate, Calamity and Tuttle find themselves in a pocket dimension wherein they meet an elf woman with black sockets where her eyes should be. She gives them a puzzle box.
Ah, yes, that's when I went off the rails. Good times.
Meanwhile, outside the warp,
Yeah.
Avaran finds himself in the middle of a catfight between the Tabaxi woman he had bedded the previous night and the tiefling woman he stood up this morning.
Meanwhile, he's trying to hold on to this chain to make sure his colony doesn't get sucked in by a portal.
Yeah.
And he is like trying to keep these two bitches at bay. And they're like about to fuck each other up. And he's just like, listen.
This is where my death comes.
Let's see. The conflict ended with the Tabaxi sauntering away to the ship after licking Avaran's cheek, and the tiefling woman stomps off in a flaming hatred. After all the drama, the team recollects and once again heads towards the ship, only to once again be distracted by a shop of familiars.
Oh, I love the shop of familiars.
Best.
I
Always wanted. I'm like, I need to add a pet store. Like, it wouldn't be my game.
Without a bet, yeah, valid.
Very true. Very true. But yeah, I fucking love the drama between those two women and Avaran in the middle, who, like you said, was like actually holding a rope that was tied to us in the portal so we didn't get sucked in and lost forever. You even had them like roll initiative and everything. They was fighting.
They were. That kitty cat stole her man. She was not happy about it.
It was so good. Y'all need to go when you have the chance. Definitely watch episode 30. It's really good.
It's episode 30 is so good. It's so good.
And like, even though Calamity and Toddle were away in the pocket dimension, me and Mackenzie were here for the drama. We were like,
it was so good.
Can I give the tiefling like advantage? Can I give them inspiration? I need more of this drama.
We were.
I was all about it. We were all about it.
Yeah.
It was too legit. Too legit to quit.
Too legit to quit. Episode 31. In the shop of familiars, Avaran sees the perfect one for him. A beautiful falcon. Though it is too expensive for him, the shopkeep offers him a deal. If he can catch the heavily sought after creature that's been magically roaming around the town, he will give Avaran the bird. He accepts. The team goes on the hunt. Finding the creature, they realize why it's so elusive. It's a master of illusions. It made the team see horrible things. That's where we ended episode 31.
Yeah, just catching Pokemon.
Much, yeah, I remember that.
Like,
The thing was a fluffy little pain in the ass, but
it
got it.
Do you remember what that creature made you see, Mackenzie?
The Alcrocra, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think that was one of them. Mm-hmm. But like, it sent you back to hell. It made you think that you were like falling back into hell.
Back in hell. Jeez.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but ooh.
Yeah, it was gnarly. I forget, and like, Avaran saw some things too, and it was also like, even though a lot of people were like getting trapped in their own illusion, like their own illusion world or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The creature also like made itself like into different things. It was like constantly changing.
Great.
So that was a very interesting encounter. Very interesting encounter.
Like the little fluffy pig flying demon thing.
All right, episode 32. All right. So this is where things get we're going to finagle some things, because I wrote down a couple things for episode 32, but after that, it's empty until like episode 38. All right, so episode 32. The team was finally able to catch the creature and took it to the familiar shop. Averand welcomed his new falcon familiar to the party. The team returns to the ship. That's what I have written. But I'm sure that there was more. So, after Averand received his new familiar,
I remember.
We were going back to the ship, and go ahead.
I had to go to the potion store.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you got your tattoo where you're able to summon stronger potions mid-battle.
I don't think you've used that ability yet, or maybe I'm tripping.
Not yet.
But
I have not.
Like, I feel like the last 3 to 4 episodes were just us getting sidetracked on our way to the ship. But so
Yeah, there was a moment where you did all kind of split up. So
yeah, there was a bit, but it wasn't like too huge, I think, for me to make a note. But I know that Vera was annoyed because Vera was like, all right, let's move.
Yeah, Vera had to leave because there was people on the ship and
waiting for us.
Yeah,
so,
Vera's sitting here like the crewmates are just making the ship their own already, and Vera's like, I know I'm giving them my ship, but like,
can
don't
you
steal my ship.
Can you wait? Oh, one thing. Okay, so Anne already mentioned that you went to a potion shop and you got that tattoo from them to learn how to make potions like on the fly, like as a bonus action or something. And then we went. I think we finally got back to the ship. Oh, before we got back to the ship. It was Calamity's job, since he was like the fastest in the team, to like go to the ship to tell them like, hey, we're coming soon. I know we're taking our time, but we're coming soon. And when Calamity did that, he met Saber for the first time. He just met this very nervous, kind of in his own head, kind of tabaxi, and I think he was just like, yeah, I haven't seen any of them, but I guess if I see them, like I'll tell them that I saw you and to wait. And I was like, I could trust you. You got this. You can do this. And before I left, I remember he was like looking at a map, but he was looking confused. And then I was just like, oh, it's upside down. So I turned the map right side up. And he was like, oh, that makes sense. And I was like, oh, good God. and then I left to rejoin the team. Yes. That was the first time that we met.
I remember
that. Unassuming Saber. And there's a couple of crewmates that you met. You did, I don't know if you met the captain of the ship. No, you did the night you saw them at the park, but.
Episode 33. We're going to finagle it here. So the team finally gets onto the ship, and I believe we're finally setting sail. Once we're out, I think on the horizon we saw a storm coming.
There's a fishing game.
Yes. Before the storm, there was a fishing game that I think Vera and Averand joined in on. I believe it was made from the acting captain, not Vera, but like their tabaxi kind of person in charge, who was like, what's his name? Like Lucas? He was like a
Yep.
He looked like a lion.
You're right.
It was Eric.
Yeah, it's Eric. And basically, I forget what the item was, but basically his game was, if whoever gets the biggest fish gets this thing. So everybody was like, yeah. So they go and they enjoy this kind of this fun time that us as a team haven't really had in a while. Like we were like really vibing with these like fun tabaxis. And I believe the winner was Vera. I think Vera like got a shark or something.
Yeah.
And after that, they cut down the shark and all the seafood to make like a big seafood stew. And that was the night that Calamity and Averand was like, let's do it. Let's practice our magic. Let's do it. So they go to a part of the ship. I think it was like near the front, the bow or something, where there was fewer people, and they just start practicing their magic against each other, like kind of like not really battling per se, but just like practicing. But it did kind of seem like a battle. And they were trying some new things, because even though Averin is a paladin, he is not trained. That's a new thing that I think was given to him by the goddess, and so he's kind of having to learn these things as he goes, as well as Calamity. He has to learn his own kind of magic as he goes. So they thought, like, let's do this together. There was some good time. It was a good wacky time. I definitely advise you guys to watch that episode, because there was a bad luck blitz that Calamity had that sent a tabaxi like falling into the sky upward. And there was a number of things. Some things got destroyed. I think this was the first time that Averin used his ability to Misty Step to like teleport. And he teleported behind Calamity and was just like, gotcha. And Calamity screamed in fright and exploded.
That's pretty much what happened.
I believe someone went overboard. It was like a whole thing. And I think that's when we figured out that there was an oncoming storm, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
You had a little, like half a day or so before the storm would hit all of you, and I think Toddle was busy trying to. I think Toddle was.
I had to make a cannon.
Yeah,
or the ballistic, whatever you call it.
Yeah, like you actually met the leadership of the crew, and they were trying to discuss how they were going to navigate the storm. And you also touched base with the rat guy that you saved, who was healed up by Snowball.
Yes.
And he's chill guy. He was very grateful for you guys saving his life, and he just kind of sits and reads, looking into the water, and is traveling with you guys.
Yes. Episode 34, roughly, because we're filling it out here. I believe the team was getting ready to bed down, like all the crew. And
yes, we were bedding down and getting ready for what was to come.
And I believe that one of the things that Toddle figured out while talking to the Tabaxi captain and Vera was that there was some kind of ancient whale-like creature that inhabits these waters, but like far away. Like I think it was like a 3 days journey, and there was talk to kind of go find those creatures, because those creatures are decked out in like natural armor. The idea was to harvest that creature's armor to make our ship more hardy, while going through kind of like the unknown things of this sea that we're traveling on. So after that, we bedded down, and one of the team awoke. It was Averin. Averin was the only one awake, and he heard something coming from on the deck. He followed the sound, and it seemed like that he tried to wake up everyone else, but no one was waking. It was like only him.
We were in a deep sleep.
Yeah, he followed the sound, and he went to the bow of the ship and went to like the banister and like looked over, and just to kind of like see this like black waters of, you know, the night sea, and this kind of ghoulish woman creature burst out of the sea and grabbed him by the neck, and like her eyes were like blacked out. And that scared the shit out of me for a second. That freaking bark. Her eyes were blacked out, and she said something that I don't remember. But then he woke up. It was a vision he had. He talked to the team, and I don't think anyone could really make out like what that could mean, but I think it might have been Vera who was just like, yeah, that's not a great omen on the sea.
Yeah.
That's not the best omen. Yeah. But it was like, fine, we're going to power through. And I believe this episode also, we, in the storm, I believe the storm was already present or nearly there. It's foggy. but in the distance we saw a wreckage of another ship.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which fucked everything up.
Yep. That really didn't help.
And from that we kind of assumed like that maybe that's what this kind of fucked up vision that Averin had the night before might have meant. So the captain said something. He was just like, whatever Tabaxi goes to find out, what's on that ship, whether there's survivors or maybe there's items that could be that our ship can use or what have you, they'll get some kind of prize. This captain was really into prizes, and I was about it. I was really about it because me as a player, I am a loot monster. I love things.
Loot monster.
So yeah. So I believe the first one off the ship, because I believe
it was Denny.
It was Denny.
Yep.
Yeah. All of the other Tabaxi were nervous and wary of this ship, but then he was like, fuck it, let's go, and he dived into the ship. And I believe roughly the ship was 300 to 500 feet or miles. It was in a distance. And he went off, I think we waited for a while, but then people started to get even more uncomfortable the longer we waited. And Averin, I don't know what it was. Maybe the storm hit us, or maybe he had he just felt something was off.
Well, the one who had the foresight, so the Tabaxi who had foresight came and
yes,
he heeded a warning that something was wrong with him and told the captain. And then I think they were trying to decide whether to leave him or go up to rescue. I think ultimately they decided to head out, but you guys were like, we'll go ahead. And so you guys went ahead.
But the way that we went was so everyone was like, we need to get out, we need to get to that ship, we need to get to that ship now, and no one was like, we don't know, we can't, I don't know what to do. And then Averin looked at Calamity and was like, can you get me there now? Is there any way that you could just get me there? And me as the player, also Calamity, I was surprised, what? How? What? But since we were practicing magic the night before, he knows that Calamity has mysterious ways of doing certain things, even beyond Calamity's knowledge. So in the uproar, Calamity is trying to find a way to do something. He just kind of goes into himself and wishes and wishes and hopes to try to do something to help his new friend. All while that's happening, there's a huge uproar. Vera is slinging orders we need this, we need that, and there's everyone's running around, and then finally something happens from Calamity. This kind of endless tentacles of black kind of shoots out of Calamity's tiny little shadow and grows to enormous size and kind of encapsulates Averin, and the black tentacles form into a very abnormal picture of a hand. It had 3 fingers. It was there was eyeballs in it. It was dark. It was moving in a weird way, and the hand literally threw Averin, because the hand is as big as an elephant. The hand literally chucked Averin to the other ship.
And then Toddle's like, I'll help. And
Yep, I remember.
And then turns him into a gas cloud.
Yeah.
When he gets there, he can't do anything.
He's just a moving fart.
He's just boop, and he lands and literally just boop. It just turns into a cloud. It softened his landing though.
And I believe right before the throw, that Vera grabbed onto the hand and went with it. But Vera had a way to slow their own descent, so that all went well. And then
from monk shit.
Then me and Toddle traveled on the hand. The hand didn't throw us. The hand actually just kind of lifted us up and flew us to the ship. When we got to the ship, havoc ensued. I believe that's where the episode ended.
Yeah.
Episode 35. Again, we're finagling it here. So we find that the ship has a couple of ghoulish creatures on it, And
What's new?
once we were attacking the ghouls, we found that when the ghouls bleed, they multiply. So on every hit, the ghoul would like duplicate, and duplicate again, and duplicate it. And I think it's rough, but I feel like it had to do with a certain number of damage, because like when someone did like an AOE thing, like the whole group just multiplied. And we couldn't find Denny. It was storming. Everything just looked like it was just shit. Everything was shit.
There you
go. We were surrounded and divided by numerous ghoul things that kept duplicating. There was only one. I feel like there was like one type of attack or damage or what have you that didn't have them duplicate, but don't remember what it was. So we were just doing what we do, and we finally found Danny. Sorry. We finally found Danny, and basically he was hiding on the ship. So like our ship finally reached us and came to save us, and I kind of like went side by side with this like ghoulish ship. We hopped the ship just as like these huge fucking tentacles reached out of the ocean and start like just like fucking thrashing the ship. The destroyer ship that we were on. So after we left that ship, we were on our ship. We were still tethered to that ship though via like planks and whatever. Yes. We saw Denny hiding magically, invisibly hiding on the side of that wreckaged ship. And we were like, "Oh shit, Denny!"
He's alive.
I believe Vera, with using their monk shit, went to go save him like on the sly.
Hell yeah.
And they both like jumped into the ocean when these giant tentacles were like taking this other ship down. And when they were swimming to us, something happened on that swim. I can't remember, but they were swimming to us.
The Kraken thing?
Yeah, the Kraken thing started.
What was it? What was the name of that?
Aboleth.
There you go.
It was a giant Kraken-sized aboleth. The aboleth started to attack our ship and started to fuck with the minds of the crewmates and the team.
Yep.
When Vera and Denny finally got onto our ship, thinking that we were just gonna like go to safety, like they saw a number of crewmates like fighting each other and like people trying to like to snap them out of it, like smack them and stuff like that. And then the aboleth trapped Calamity in his own mind. Calamity, in the place where he was trapped mentally, he was like in a world of flesh and sharp teeth. And he like no matter where he ran, he couldn't hide. It was like the world was ever moving. But
Calamity.
In the real world, Calamity's body was being controlled by the aboleth. And the aboleth told Calamity to destroy the mast, and Calamity did it in full function, using all the eldritch powers that were once hidden. All that shit came to light as he started to fight the team, take down the mast, and also summoned these two like behemoth, like aberration warriors that were like also like fucking up the mask and fucking at people around them. I believe that's where we ended. We ended with Calamity destroying everything, and the mask went down. Anything you want to add before we go to episode 36?
That about did it. It was just going to hell really quickly.
Real quick, real fast. That whole like
isn't it real quick, real fast?
That whole fishing adventure went south real quick. All right, episode 36. We start out with Calamity snapping out of it. Vera does some monk shit that snaps Calamity out of his trance and frees him from his own mind, having control again. And also some other of the crewmates get freed because the crew learns that, oh, they're being controlled by this beast. We have to free them. Like, there was a lot of things we had to do. We had to free the crew. We had to get out of the grasp of this creature. We had to get the fuck away. We had to fix the mast. There was a tons of shit.
It was like, go do.
Yeah. It was like, it was just like a shit show.
And even lost control of the captain a little bit because he went full must protect my crew mates mode and was like willing to kill all of you guys to save them.
Like
that sucked.
When Calamity finally came to, his first thing that he saw was the ship like in ruins and splinters or whatever, and like a missing mast. These two like unknown like hulking creatures before him, and then like the lion captain that he thought was cool, his friend, literally roaring at him, his like weapon like ready to like slice Calamity in half. And I was like, what the fuck?
Not today.
So all that happened, battle ensued. We did get a look at the power level of the captain's wife. The captain's wife was a spellcaster, and she did something so big. Like, I think she attacked one of the tentacles, and she like did a blast so big that it literally stopped the rain for a second. That was pretty fucking epic. Anyway, as we battle on, as we're trying to figure all this shit out, Vera gets controlled by the Aboleth. Yeah. The Aboleth tells Vera to kill everyone on the ship.
Nice.
Like, we're like we the team are thinking like we've never seen like Vera do a crazy output of damage. I think we have time. I think we're okay. Little did we know that the DM was very wise and strategic about this command, and Vera disappeared while everyone else is like fighting off this thing and trying to get everyone back on like in their minds. Vera disappeared. We found out that Vera was actually in the hull of the ship, like the bellow, the under part, and was literally punching holes in the bottom of the ship to let the water in and to let the Aboleth rip its way through.
Fucked up.
Meanwhile, we're just like, oh, I guess I don't know what Vera's doing, but she's not trying to kill us. They're not trying to kill us right now, so we're fine.
So we're fine for a while.
No. So we find out that this is happening. We go to like the bottom of the ship. The team is doing team things, y'all. We were doing everything we can as a team to come together and fix this. We were very hopeful, and then we saw the mouth of the Aboleth open, and it was charging what I'll just call a hyper beam. And literally gave us 2 turns to do something. It took 2 turns for the Aboleth to charge up. So we were like fucking trying to do anything that we could. We were pulling shit out of our asses, trying to figure out what to do in this time. And then the last thing that was said was the captain was just like, where's Saber? Get Saber. And we were just like, what the fuck is Saber gonna do? The nervous nobody who doesn't know how to read a map?
He's on the ship for a reason.
He was like, get Saber. So they go find Saber, and Saber appears like literally right before the blast is about to be released from the mouth to literally incinerate the ship and us along with it. Saber appears. Oh, on the beat
and
too.
Saber does some good stuff. I know.
Yeah.
Saber saves y'all's ass.
Saber appears and he is wrapped in unknown magic. Like every step is like quavering reality, and like it's almost like we see more than just him. There's like echoes of himself that's kind of trying to be contained within his body, and his eyes are like, of course, glowing, and he looks fucking epic as shit. And he says that I have an idea. Once he says that, the aboleth releases the beam that could have potentially killed, incinerated all of us. But there's a blinding flash of light. Everything goes white, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a moment where we're just, if I remember correctly, we're just kind of like floating in space.
Yep.
And just silence. And then all of a sudden, color comes back into the world. And all of a sudden, we're still on the ship. There's a giant hole in the ship, but the ship's still there and working. But it's snowing. We're like surrounded by ice and snow, like we're in the Arctic, and it's snowing, and we're looking around like us, and also some of the Tabaxi team is ported with us, and it seemed like Saber teleported us all into
the future.
But I think killing himself in the process. We learned that this is a power that he got from the god of the void. And that's where we ended that episode.
Yup.
Well, there goes another one.
The void intervenes again.
Yeah, fucking void.
But that's the mystery of this, is because I don't know if y'all caught that, but Saber has had this ability for a long time. Like, he's not a particularly skilled fighter. Like, he writes kind of shitty poetry. Like, he's just kind of average. You know, how he survived this world for this long is a mystery. But when we don't know his backstory of how he ran into the other Tabaxi, but he was protected by these crew members, I suppose. I mean, just the idea that he was gifted this power, and he was gifted it at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a strong ability that, cultists would have sent hundreds of men to die for this person's ability, and they kept him. Maybe not for the best reasons. Like, he's probably the most valuable asset that they had. Probably if they ever needed to get out of a pickle, they could always offer his life. But,
God damn! Fuck, shit! You weren't kidding, that's dark.
Yeah. But
Ooh.
he had the ability, and it was gifted from the Zero God. So it's like, did he know that this would happen? ? Or why does he intervene on just so few people's lives? How many other people are there that kind of harness some of his ability, and why?
Exactly. Go ahead, Mackenzie.
I will say, I don't know. It's another. You said which god was it?
The god of the
The
void.
Zero God? Yeah, the Zero God. Okay.
So wait, is the god of the void and the Zero God like the same?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh.
He's also known as the Zero God. He's the god of dark matter.
Interesting.
Not a lot is understood about him, but he is the most powerful.
Gotcha. Okay. So that was the end of episode 36, I believe. Episode 37. I'm reaching back. Okay, so here we are. 100 years. We didn't know it yet, but we were maybe over 100 years into the future. In the snowy plain on the same ship that was kind of destroyed, but we look at the ship and we notice that it's been fixed, or it's been like kind of like chonkily repaired. So on the top there's still a hole, and there's still a hole on the next level, but like on like the final couple of levels, it's been built over. So someone, whether it was us, the team, or someone else that found the ship, fixed the ship and still uses it. So everyone decides to look around for things. And we find some journals and some logs of the ship that kind of showed us like the lifespan of this ship since we've been gone, and that one of the people that got left behind but survived was the tabaxi woman that Avaran was seeing. She kind of mapped out a lot of this area and like where to get the best fishing, towns nearby, temples nearby, and just made like notes throughout their lifespan.
And it was quite nice because at the time you're thinking like, what the fuck? Like you're in a barren landscape, you have no idea where you are. A lot of the crewmates aren't there and are assumed dead. And then you finally get a touch from that life that was left, and it was actually not bad. You find out through when Avaran's reading through the journal that she lived a good life, she had children, that there were other survivors. You did find out that the captain and his wife did die that day, and so did a lot of the crew members, but some did manage to survive the Abalast blast, and they made it to the shore. And through literally a couple generations of just living off of this land, they provided you a wealth of knowledge for exactly where you are. And you're actually closer to your destination anyway.
Yep.
It was
very nice of them to do that for our little journey.
It was kind of perfect. Sad how it happened, but kind of perfect. So moving on to episode 38. Avaran gives Denny comfort. Oh, so we're back on track now. I have my notes now. we've passed the gap of not knowing.
The boat, yeah, it seems like boat arc was very choppy, literally. There was a lot happening during boat arc.
Yes.
Episode 38. Avaran gives Denny comfort by sharing Liara. Liara is the name of the tabaxi woman he was seeing. Liara's diary, and that most of his tabaxi friends lived beyond the night of the Aboleth. Exploring the ship, Calamity finds some interesting items in the hull and in the ship. Among them were papers, documents, and journals covered in trinkets of a child and a large carpet. The documents marked the history of the ship since we've been gone. The carpet, with colors of red and green, had a crescent moon in the center. On further investigation, the team found that the carpet is likely from the southern islands, which is mostly run by the humans. That area is known for their wealth and trade. The carpet also has Druidic origin.
Okay.
The crescent moon in the heart of the carpet triggered inner turmoil for Avaran. He shared that he recognized the symbol from long ago in his past, and that now being pelted 100 years into the future, he may never find out something that he was really hoping to. With this, Tuttle incites the possibility of us moving backward in time, returning to our own time plane, though he doesn't know how. And Calamity mentioning that since Avaran's race is long-lived, maybe the thing that he's searching for answers from and is long-lived as well, giving him hope. When asked, Avaran tells the team that he feels our dark world is wrong, that evil shouldn't rule over good, that his quest is to return the world to peace and freedom and take vengeance on those who would wish to subjugate them. After Tuttle initiates the power of the puzzle box by attuning to it, the team uses all their limbs, solves the first puzzle of the puzzle box, opening it for the first time. In doing so, they are sucked into the pocket dimension of the box. Once in this pocket dimension, they notice that all 3 of them have switched bodies.
Yep. Super fun. Super fun, y'all.
Really, really fun. We were like talking for a long time, like offline. It's like, oh, I can't wait to try this. I can't wait to try that.
Got to glimpse at each other's character sheets. All the secrets revealed.
Yes, all the secrets.
Oh yeah, I found there was some good stuff. It was great. I found out that you guys are really good at putting together character sheets.
Oh, thank you.
That was true.
But I loved being Toddle and smart for a while. I loved all the things that kind of came with that. That was really awesome. Let's see, episode 39. So I did not write anything down for this one, but I remember it like the back of my hand. Here we go. Episode 39. While in each other's bodies, we encounter this like eldritch looking like clockwork.
He was like a jester. He was a clock patchwork thing.
Clockwork creature man guy that attacked us with gears and different like kind of what felt like cybernetic kind of technology. Fumbling through that fight in each other's bodies, we nearly downed it, right? But it then trapped Toddle, who Calamity was in the body of, so me. It trapped Toddle Calamity in like this spinning gear trap, and that set the time for like there was a ticking clock going to where it would just snap all of Toddle in half and killing me. The team put all of the power together to try to kill this thing ASAP before the clock ran out. Luckily, they did so, even though the trap did take half of my HP because I wasn't there for a while. But it wasn't all of it. I lived.
That's true.
Once killing this creature, the gears disappeared, and the gears that fell down to the ground started to form like this light, and the light was moving and curving. Watching this light kind of move around, it ended up becoming like 3 circles intertwined. Looking at this on the ground, we looked at each other, wondering how this worked, or what this even meant.
I piece it together, really.
But after a while, we came together and learned that these circles were symbolizing us in our bond. So each of us stepped in like the furthest part of the circle that was just like on its own, that wasn't tethered to anything else or connected to anything else.
Like a Venn diagram.
The Venn diagram, and we stepped in them, but nothing happened, and we found out that I think it was me. We did it as a team, but I think it was me. We found out that we needed to give each other like our personal items, like to kind of set off something. So me and Toddle's body, I gave Toddle, who was in Averin's body, I gave Toddle like a book of theirs, and then Toddle gave Averin, who was in Calamity's body, gave him like a sword. Yes, gave him like the swords that he owned, and then Averin and my body gave me my my spell focus, which is my black crystal bracelet. He threw it to me, which set off this chain reaction of all of us kind of being one and finding these items together on our journey. And doing so, we cleared the puzzle. Not knowing that the Gear Man was our first puzzle that we solved, and this was our second puzzle, we went to our third and final puzzle that was, we were in like this grand like cathedral. It was really dark though. It was kind of an evil looking cathedral with a floating like dagger like suspended in the air, and under it was like this woman, this girl, I think she was like 16 looking, that was like chained down in place under the dagger. And we tried to free her using different magics to free her from the chains, and then
we did a lot of things.
We did. Tuttle, like, I don't know why Tuttle, but I found that your thing that you do when you're like in a strange place, a strange ungodly place, is you cut yourself. You always draw your own blood. So you did that, and it actually made a reaction in the room, and it set off, it like, the windows cleared up and showed like different kind of stain painted like windows, like that was like depicting a story. Each window said something very specific to the area, and we found that like, oh, this thing is telling us to kill this girl.
This girl, yeah.
And this girl was just, this seemed very innocent. Like, she just found herself here and was telling us about her family and to please help her and everything. And we did all that we could possibly think of. And then Calamity put on his mask of seeing, that black mask with like, vector things on it. And he saw, looking at the chain, he saw that this chain had the same exact energy, the same exact magic of the turret that we killed in hell. It had the same exact magic of that Sphinx. Knowing this, the party was just like, okay, so
we have a job here.
This is a turret, and it's really fucked up, but there's like, no, I don't know. We can't think of any other way. So... I
said I could res her. I was like, yes! I could resurrect her.
Yeah, you forgot about that. So, Tuttle said that, like, okay, so we have to kill this girl, but Tuttle could resurrect her. And we're like, okay. So, Calamity tried to kind of soothe her emotions or whatever, get her mind off of things, while in the meantime... Avaran was prepping to plunge the dagger through her heart from the back, which she did. And the girl died, but told us to please tell her family that she was sorry. We have a good idea of where her family is from. And she died and bled out right there on the cathedral floor. And before Tuttle could resurrect her, everything went black and we were falling. We were falling in blackness, but under us was like what looked to be like a white snowy ground that was reaching us very quickly. Mm-hmm. We landed on like this soft white snowy ground. The girl nowhere in sight. We were looking for her, couldn't be found. Yep. Instantly, like just like a dagger in my heart, just like no.
Yep.
But before us was this floating woman.
Giant woman.
This woman had on like really like immaculate thick black armor. Her hair was long, wavy and red, and she had green eyes, and her eyes were glowing, and she had long elf ears that kind of like went like curled to the back of her hair, and she had this unbelievably huge broadsword of pure gold with a diamond in the pommel. And that's where we left off at episode 39. Anything you guys want to add before we move on to episode 40?
There was, after you defeated the gear guy and went through the second trial, there was an angel wing emblem that appears.
Yes.
And then before going into that kind of door that opened into the cathedral, there was an emblem of a demon wing or bat wing on the door.
Yes. And that symbol is now on our chest. We have a symbol of like a bat wing and like an angel wing. Episode 40. We almost there, y'all. We doing it.
Almost there.
Episode 40.
Incredible. Also, if before I interrupt, just getting to episode 40, like this campaign has gone what, almost 2.5-ish years now to get to episode 40.
I think almost 2-ish years. Almost, I think.
Yeah, boy.
We have been moving. Okay, episode 40. The woman, and I have this written down, so we're back on track again. The woman before us, before the team, was a lighter version of the eyeless elf woman we found in the pocket dimension who gave Tuttle the puzzle box to begin with. Saying that this puzzle box is a combination of both the good and the terrible. We see that her huge sword is made of solid gold with a fist-sized diamond adorning the hilt. Afterward, answering her question of, what is your intention living in this dark world? How did you survive and why? She tells us her name was Elodie, and that this box holds the power of an army of 100,000 strong, of which she is the general. Also, that the tattooed symbol over our chests, a bat wing with the dove wing, is her symbol, and that it could never be hidden.
Forever blessed.
Only we can control the power of the box. She has a limited amount of time, but we can call upon the power of her and or her army when we need them most. She says we'll know how when the time comes. We can never tell anyone we have the box because there are many who would wish to kill us for it. Returning to the real world, the team finds themselves in the middle of a harsh blizzard, during which time Calamity tells Avaran the vision that he saw while in Toddle's body. That's right. When we were in each other's bodies, we saw each other's happiest memories. Yep. Toddle's happiest memory of him meeting Lander as a child and taking him under his wing. We believe that Toddle sees Lander as his son, explaining the endless need to retrieve Lander from hell. Avaran tells Calamity that he saw a memory of his while in his body, a vision of his family gathered around a table for dinner, which abruptly ends the night. After Avaran asks Tuttle about his happiest memory of finding Lander as a child, the team learns that Tuttle was sent to retrieve him because he is a prince of hell.
Yeah, something like that.
Snowball, real name pending. Snowball joins the party and guides us with her map that has many land markings marked, telling us that we are 200 miles away from the mountain that holds this special library. Still unable to find Vera. That's right, Vera went missing when we arrived in the future. Still unable to find Vera, the team decides to go to the nearest of their temples that is on the way to the mountain. By stroke of luck, it seems that the safest one is the one on our immediate route, as for the other two are either overrun with goblins or the landscape was too treacherous to travel. The temple we seek is said to be mostly in ruins, though there is a magic presence there. The Tabaxi with amnesia takes on the name Blue, as he struggles to grasp his true name. Joining the party, he finds that he is an adept ranger and offers to help us traverse this harsh Arctic terrain. And we set off. That was episode 40. And anything you want to add before we move to our final episode?
Good episode.
Nope. You got probably one of the most powerful weapons ever, and it is tattooed across your chest. So it's gonna be tricky to hide. But then again, it's such an ancient magic. Like I think the only people who may even know about it are old demons. So Avery's character would absolutely know what that is. And probably the family that live in the mountains that you're headed towards.
Nice. And that actually gives me a question to ask you later. Let me just write this down.
So basically, we gotta be careful.
Yeah. Don't undress anytime soon for people.
In front of people, right. All right, here we go, y'all. Our last episode, our most concurrent, episode 41. Woo! Here we go. The team gets attacked by a group. Sorry, I wrote it wrong. By a group of demonic wyverns, killing one of them. Calamity yells, "Thus, why you don't mess with the Hellraisers."
Good job, Calamity.
then instantly cowers at a spasm of the wyvern's dead body. Looting the corpses, we find that it had a mysterious triangular stone in its neck, a stone that we, during our time in hell, learned could tether the user to certain planes. The team later learns that it was owned by a great demon roaming the lands nearby. The great demon, Saphira, and their 3 demon brutes appear with Blue chained and bound. Calamity shakily gives her a word of warning, again using the new moniker Hellraisers. Found her intrigued, curious as to why anyone would call themselves such a thing in such a dark and dangerous world of current day. After some very tense conversation, the team agrees to follow Saphira to the hidden mountain city as prisoners. Allies? No. It's unclear. Since the city is hidden by magic, the team thought it advantageous to have ourselves act as victims for now. Doing small talks, Saphira got uncomfortably interested in our missing monk friend. It seems that nowadays monks are extremely rare, but what made them most uncomfortable is that Saphira knew exactly who Lander was. He is now a part of Hell's Crusade. This, the team does not know. This was said via DM player chat, but the team does not know this yet. So, Lander is now a part of Hell's Crusade and has been for over 100 years. He also reports directly to one of Saphira's subordinates. Through their connection with Lander, Saphira may have linked the released souls incident to this crew. Furthermore, she has heard that a paladin was last seen with Lander before he was taken to be the General of Hell. Lastly, when the ever-inquisitive Toddle asks Saphira about the triangular stone of tethering, she instinctively rubbed the back of her neck, leading Calamity to think that there may be one in the demon's spine, tethering them to our world. And that's it. And that's it.
All caught up. I say we go ahead and take our break, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. What do you think?
Sounds good. Let's do it. All right, team. We did it. We will be back in 10 minutes to finish up with the Q&A. And I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a shotgun Q&A, but we're gonna keep it short. So we will probably give you some short answers. We may dive into them more in our Discord. But yes, get ready to hit us up. We will see you guys in a bit.
Bye-bye.
Go for it, Anne.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're gonna go ahead and announce our giveaway winner, and then we're just gonna start answering questions. They can be hopefully more about hopefully more about the story, of course, but if you have random personal questions, I say we can answer some of those too if the rest of the team is comfortable. But last minute to enter the giveaway, !critical in the chat to enter the giveaway, please. We'll go ahead and announce a winner in the next few seconds here. If you haven't entered, now is the time.
Now is the time, because we are getting to the point. Let's see. Boop, boop. This has been. I've been just loving this chill catch up. It's
Me too.
I love that we could like start the year off with a cozy catch up sesh. Let's see what we have here. So we got
just missing part of my head.
Contagion. Oh, excuse me. My goodness. We got Tig.
My.
We got Mackenzie. Let me scroll up. I've literally been reading this entire time. I have not looked at chat once. So let me see.
Yep. Do a scroll.
Let's see. Scroll. I had
Avran's doing the homework.
I'm very proud of him. I'm glad he's listening. Let's see what we have here. Scroll. Scroll. We have 12K followers on Insta.
That was
we have 12K followers on Insta? Can someone
Damn.
check? Wait,
Colin's band.
Oh, I would be like, wait, what? I was like, dude? I was like, can someone check that?
Bet?
Ooh, okay. I'm seeing another name here. Dysfamist. Scroll. Agent Fox. Scroll. Wait, someone said I'm giving away my own dice. You better back off. Who the hell?
Who the hell?
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Okay, I think I'm all caught up. So
what
far.
The hell?
What the hell? All right, so far we have five on the list. We have Contagion. We have Tig. We have Mackenzie. We have Dysfamist, and we have Agent Fox. I don't even have my. You have, if you have not entered, this is now your time. As I look forward to this. I'm probably gonna roll via online, to be real. But anyway,
give it a try.
We are entering in our Q&A.
Q&A time.
So have at us as I prep some things. Chat. Ask us some questions.
We have 2 questions already. The first one I think you should answer, G-Dub. But any plans to put more of the character sheets on Patreon?
Yes, actually, very much so. The next upload is going to be soon, and it's going to be multiple. Because I kind of have to actually catch up. The goal was to do it once a month, or to have something once a month. But when the holidays hit, things got crazy. But yes, I'm going to put multiple of our team and our guest player sheets up as well. Is there any characters that you're looking specifically? Are you specifically excited to see?
I think Marcus's sheet would be interesting to put on there. The Leonin captain.
Oh, yeah. If you have his sheet,
His sheet
please
is
share. Yeah.
he is badass. He's badass.
Yeah, that was the sheet that Eric uses. Yeah. But yeah. What's the second question, Ann?
That one for me. What player moment or action surprised you the most? I think in general, Toddle surprises me the most, just because Toddle, I just forget that like Mackenzie's really good at being true to character, and I think Toddle just always has on his mind certain things. Like he's almost like OCD about it.
And I always keep
Which I
forgetting
have,
that.
so that makes sense.
which I forget about all the time. Like if I mention something that like Toddle can benefit from, even if it's like a small portion of like the map in my mind of the story, Toddle's very much like, that thing, I want that thing.
I'm gonna explore that thing.
Yeah, and like whereas like other teammates are like, okay, this is where the story is rolling, but like Mackenzie are always very true to character, and I fucking appreciate that because it finds you things like 100,000 armies strong from a puzzle box, that kind of thing.
And this is like something I do with Toddle specifically. I do have other characters and I roleplay them very well, but this is a very Toddle. And Toddle is probably the character I have that is like the closest to like my inner gremlin. So it whereas like another character I have is like really quiet and like doesn't talk a lot and just like kind of makes glances and like, or another character that's like super humble and is very
and
like,
it's super
caring,
nice. Like I hear about DMs that struggle with players that go off the rails all the time, where I love that because for me, like for me it's inspiring. Like I have an end goal, but what I create when I become DM is like just a map. I'm like, this is where everything is. This is where these families are. This is where these characters are on the map. If they run into them, cool. If not, fine. But it's really, you guys decide where you want to go. Yep. Like the whole hoarding, for example, hoarding 100 years into the future. I made a roll and I used a D4 for it. And there are 4 options how you were going to get out of the aboleth situation. A 1 was you die from it. And I may or may not share the other 2. But a 3 was the time traveling into the future. But there's just different options, and there's so many routes. So when a player's like, I'm really interested in this thing, it's really, really interesting for me because I'm like, oh, like this can change up the story in a big way, because like as much as I like to make an original ending, like this is how I want the story to end. It's like, I don't know, what I like about D&D is like it could go that way, it could not. And I think either way the story ends in a great way. So, and
me knowing Anne too, like I know that she likes that too, so I wouldn't do it if she discouraged it. So, and I've played with other DMs before, and she to me is very interested in like she told us right from the get-go, go find some shit, like. So
I have hidden shit all over the place. I'm not a DM who hoards all the magic items. So I'm like, if you want to get a cool fucking badass sword, I will happily give
you the cool yeah. So in knowing that, so anyway, continue.
Yes.
Who's surprising you?
I think the next question is, correct me if I'm wrong, Anne. The next question is, what enemy scared y'all the most? For me, it's the aboleth. It was the aboleth.
Aboleth?
Yeah.
Well, I almost got y'all.
Almost got us.
It was not the aboleth for me. It was shit. I'm gonna come back to me. I remember there was a character we fought that I was way more feared from.
Okay, we'll come back to that for you.
The scariest one for me that I was happy that I DM'd how I did because it came out how I wanted it to was actually not even a big bad, but it was the Wendigo. Like the moment like the smoke kind of cleared on his chest and he's like appearing right there before you. I imagined it very horror movie setting.
Yeah, I love that.
The Wendigo was also a great fight.
The next question is favorite arc. do you want to start us off, Mackenzie?
Oh, actually, I do remember, but it had to do not. So you recapped all of what's going on with the current campaign, but there was also a sub campaign happening called Nightmare of the Crypt, and there was. Yeah, we just forgot about that. No, that whole sub campaign that takes place in where it does. That actually, I have had more fear of the enemies in that category, like the freaking that first monster we faced coming outside of it, the blood monster.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
that was
glad
a
you
good
liked it. Oh,
Yeah, that I was like actually feared, like, oh, DW's coming at us with this one.
Please don't die.
Thank you so much. My heart.
So yeah, fun fact: there was a whole other campaign that we have, and when Anne had shit to do, had to be busy and be adults, and GW DM'd that whole thing, and me and Chris and sometimes some other friends would join in.
Yeah. Favorite arc for me. God, I'm so happy to be out of hell. I'm not gonna lie to you. Favorite arc for me. I want to say. I think. I don't know. I really like how No, I'm gonna say the most current arc with us being a team and being in the future and kind of having to fill out the world again and kind of figure out what's going on. Because I like that because I feel like there's more now that we're back on our world. There's more to gamble. Like when you go to hell or a different world, you can just kind of sort of do whatever the fuck because this is not your home. But when you go home, it's just like, okay, we're in the shit now. And also my character is becoming more confident in his powers, which lets me, the player, do like way crazier things I've been like wanting to for a while. So we're in my favorite arc right now. How about you, Mackenzie?
It's really hard to beat the first couple of episodes where we were in the forest. Like, to me, that really set the stage for what was to come. And I uniquely am Toddle is uniquely a character who's lived throughout. Single-handedly. I mean, Lander's still alive as well, but not being played currently, has been transferred to NPC role. I don't know, maybe, we don't know. So the fact that I've been able to live from the beginning in that forest, when we started in that forest, all the way through towns, hell, back through towns, sea, now we're in snowy mountains, more villages, like, yeah, it's the humble beginnings, I guess you should say, which were not very humble, and certainly didn't provide a easy ground for us, so.
You think it's a comfy, cozy cabin.
But actually, and I don't know if you can answer this, but if you can, go for it.
My favorite arc is really you guys haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
But my favorite arc is coming up pretty soon.
Oh boy.
And it's the most badass shit ever. I can't wait.
Oh fuck. Oh shit. Oh fuck.
I'm ready.
Right. Next,
my body is ready.
Next question. Will Calamity ever find love?
Aww.
That is a great question.
I'm in love with him.
as you,
I love Calamity.
As we all know, Calamity is he's very skittish, very cowardly, very he's almost cripplingly self-aware. But at the same time, we do know that his people are kind of known for their multiplying. So, and I think one of the first scenes that Calamity is in when he first appears is that he's like in a tavern and like people are singing, and I think he was like playing. He was like playing a flute, because like there was like a party in the tavern, and like some woman came over and like took something out of her bra, and like all the women were around Calamity, like, oh my god, you're so cute, you're so fluffy, and was just like really touching him. And Calamity, though he looks, you know, young, and he's a runt, so of course he looks like young or whatever.
Little baby.
He is not a baby. He is an adult.
He had a boner the whole time.
Calamity is 19 years old, so he is legally
In bunny years.
able to do all the things, even probably in this world where anything is illegal. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he finds love. I don't know what that looks like. Maybe we'll find out together.
Noted.
Next.
And Chris has said the favorite arc of his was Island arc.
Yeah, hanging out at the first place.
He would.
Well, yeah, that's when all the crazy shit happened.
He would say that because Chris is really into pirate stuff and like sailing stuff and whatever. So I'm not surprised at that. And I believe the next question is yours. MZ
What point did the party come closest to a TPK? There's been a couple of times.
Yeah.
Just because there's a lot of like super high level areas that they went in. So like if they were to get hit by certain creatures, it would probably kill them instantly. They were lucky enough to avoid a lot of it, but I think the aboleth is definitely. I had to make a decision there.
Next.
Also, hell.
Also, yeah, hell was the one that had a lot of like traps.
Next question is open to all. Who was your favorite NPC or moment? My favorite moment. Okay, so my favorite NPC, I already said it. It is Evie. Favorite NPC, love her. It kills me that she's dead. It kills me. My favorite moment is the drama between Avaran's women. Oh my god, I loved it. Tado, what say you?
Favorite NPC? Oh god. There was some funny tabaxi, I will say. There's also great creatures in hell. We've met. The witch has been a phenomenal creature. The bartender at the very beginning in the tavern who couldn't talk.
Oh,
Also-
the furball.
Yeah, and then also the elf. I forgot if he was a half elf, but the elf we met that is presumably still alive in our story.
Oh, Aaron.
Aaron, yep. In the Harangon story, or excuse me, the Harangon town.
Hell yeah, his mom.
Muffins.
I love his mom.
Such a good.
Not
character.
mom. The
The
matriarch of the town.
Yeah,
Miss Muffin.
Miss
Yeah, Miss
Muffin's my
Muffin.
favorite.
Oh, I'm glad you guys liked her.
I love her. I love her so much. She made me so happy.
The goblin that I blew up in hell. That's great.
Yup. God. Yeah, there's it's tough to say. I don't know if I would have to say Miss Muffin's probably a favorite overall for both campaigns, but there has been a lot of honorable mentions, right? Because there's so many good characters. Evie was a great character, and her sister as well. Any shop tavern has generally been pretty funny, so yeah.
How about you, Anne? Any favorite
I'm thinking.
NPC you've made, or any favorite moment?
I like the goblin who had you captured with the southern accent.
It was so good. It was so shitty. It was so shitty and so like backwater, and it was so good.
I liked her a lot. But I think my favorite moment.
She was
there's
such a fucking
few.
bitch. She was so she was so perfectly evil. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Shut your goddamn pie hole.
Yeah.
Let me think.
This creature here
What's a
don't
good
feel
moment?
pain. Like, oh my god.
Guess I'll die.
Guess I'll die. Exactly.
Die.
Her burning
know.
eye still gives me nightmares.
There's a lot of moments. I think I do like when Nate's character ate one of the muffins and turned to a giant crow. and couldn't fit in the tavern and was like has a big giant crow eye like staring through the window. Oh, that was cute.
Next question is me, GW. Did you dress like Jolteon on purpose today? Stop it. You stop it. I love Jolteon. Stop it. Next up, let's see.
I have a question for. It's a Pokemon question.
Of course, classic.
If Baby Z was a Pokemon type, what type would Baby Z?
Normal, because normal's my favorite type.
Okay.
Obviously, I would be the normal gym leader along with the in Gen 2. They have a normal type gym leader that's what's it called? Has I think a Miltank? What? No.
Oh yeah.
What is it?
I love Miltank.
Miltank's awesome.
I'm blanking on my Pokemon history right now, which should get me banned. No,
I'm hovering over your name right now with the ban.
Yeah,
I'm hovering over it right now.
Bye Pokemon cred. Yeah, I would be a normal type gym leader, and me with my level 99 EV. Z would also be a level 99 normal type.
Beerus would be a fairy type because he has attacks like Doll Eyes.
Oh yeah.
And Rough Play.
Mm-hmm. Baby Doll Eyes, freaking
Charm.
Yeah, all the sweet.
Enemy you want to go back and kill again.
I really thought we could take the Aboleth. I want to go back.
I think we could take the.
I feel like our team, like we've really kind of like solidified like our bond and like learning how to use our abilities with each other and stuff. I think we can go back and take the Aboleth. I think we can.
Probably could. You probably could.
I think we can. And we won't be surprised this time, and like we'll be ready for its like mind fuckery and its tentacles, and like I can do things and you can do things. Like I want to fight it again. I was so hyped to get back in that water. But anyway, so I have a question for everyone. Is it for everyone or is it for Anne? Let me see.
You said enemies we would want to refight. Is that what you said?
Yes.
We should fight. We should fight past characters too. Like if there's some way we could bring back Fancy or, and obviously the Lander fight. That's gonna be big, and all that. I don't know if this is something that's doable, but since we are a streamable D&D group, some way we can fight like little and maybe like very short little synopsis NPCs that our chat makes or something.
That'd be cute.
We are in a unique scenario where we are D&D streaming D&D, so like
I really like that idea. I think we might do that.
Audience participation can make little, just like tiny little blurbs characters.
I really think oh my god, I love that idea, Mackenzie.
I'm sure other streams do something, but I don't know. I'm just thinking that's a unique scenario.
I'm making a note of it right now.
Okay.
make that note. It's a good idea.
And we have a lot of people who also play D&D that watch us, so. And friends.
Okay, question. Okay, Anne. So back when we were in hell, and it was back when it was just me and Mackenzie, and we were just like, it was that episode where it was just filled with like different shittery and stuff. There was one time where we had to cross a bridge, and the bridge had like an upwave of wind, like a wind tunnel upward thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
What was the way to solve that puzzle? I was so fucking confused. I didn't know what to do.
Oh yeah, it's. Excuse me.
Don't you cough? You better answer this.
You either had to. Sorry, every time I cough, it gives me a headache. It like rattles my brain.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You had to either run through it really fast, like not Mach speed, but like pretty fucking fast, like right through it.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you had to anchor yourself onto the bridge, which I think is what you guys did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's no way to fly over to the side or under it because the wind would have tossed you off of the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
But
I hated that fucking bridge. I really did.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Or
you could have misstepped it.
And let's see.
Which I don't have, so meh.
Yeah, neither of us had that. So, family names, you actually answered that already. I was going to ask you about the family names, and you did an amazing fucking job. I was so taken aback. Let's see. Okay, so the tattoos that we have, the bat wing and the angel wing, you said that they could not be hid. I'm guessing we can still hide them under clothes, but like they will always show on our skin, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So, like, even if we put makeup on the tattoo?
It's scarification, technically. So, you could put makeup,
Mm-hmm.
but you can obscure it in different ways. So, there are ways to hide it for sure, but you can't remove it. And there's no magic that can remove it.
Wow. So is it actually kind of like a scar where it's like a little bump, or is it just like a tattoo? Okay.
Yeah, it's raised skin.
Wow.
I already had
you
tattoos.
Really,
no.
You did. You really love tatting up your team. You really do.
Oh, we're coming out of this with.
You said you said my player's gonna be tatted up. That's
Yep.
what you said.
Yep.
Mackenzie, do you have any other questions?
Honestly, I am very lucky that if I have questions, I can just ask y'all. But anything publicly, I can't think of anything else. I prepared. I obviously knew the assignment, but there isn't anything particularly stringing on my mind. We've gone several different directions, and I am excited for the future. So
I have a question for you, Mackenzie.
Oh, go ahead.
Who is it that Tuttle needs Lander to be able to kill?
Organization guy, or an organization man that me and Anne still need to kind of develop.
Okay, that's good enough for me.
But no, we have a soft backstory on some more lore involving the organization. The organization. It's very like Agent Smith in the Matrix, like the organization.
Yes. Illuminati.
Yeah.
Illuminati. By the way, Chris in chat, if you have any questions, like, feel free to like throw them in the chat. Let's see. Tig says, Dusty, any chance of a rematch with the Aboleth? Like, like a one shot or two shot?
The Aboleth, absolutely. The Aboleth is still out there.
Oh shit, I love that.
Yeah, still alive, still swimming around, still destroying ships.
Still destroying ships like it do. This is one for me, GW. What makes Calamity calm? What makes Calamity calm? Butterflies.
Mm-hmm.
Butterflies make Calamity very calm because butterflies reminds him of his mother.
Mm-hmm.
Which I believe Avaran saw while he was in Calamity's body. One of the features about Calamity's mom, besides like her mostly white fur, is that she always, like, butterflies loved her. She always kind of had like a halo of butterflies around her. And yeah, so that calms him. And being with strong people that can protect him calms him as well. So like being around Avran, like, who towers above him, but he's a good giant, and like, you know, Vera, a good giant. Being with Tuttle, who's like smart. Like Tuttle is, I mean, he's still taller than Calamity, but like Tuttle is small, but he has like giant mind. He's like so Calamity sees Tuttle kind of like as another giant, just like miniature, but like just really smart. So being in this team, actually having people that cares for him, that he really feels truly cares for him, kind of puts him at a greater state of ease than when he's normally just like, yeah. What's Tuttle and Avaran's happiest memories? Taro, do you want to share your happiest memory?
Yeah. If you don't remember from the episode, the happiest memory was being able to at a much younger time. There was a character on our campaign named Lander, who is now an enemy to us, but he was a kid at the time, and basically Toddle worked for this the organization, and was under direct order to go and basically like find if you're gonna get help, you have to procure on site. So was able to kind of sort of kidnap along with some help. Kidnap what is essentially this tiefling character that ended up being pretty damn important. Nevertheless, they formed a bond, and Toddle didn't have to be alone again. So it's like it's a fear of not being alone, because for his whole life, a lot of rock gnome history that I read up before becoming a rock gnome was that they work away in the mountains and just do a whole bunch of work, and feels very isolating, and it almost relates because I do manual labor for work, and it's fucking isolating. So for him to be able to have a friend, friend is more of like, it's more of like a adoptive father type situation. Made him feel pretty good. That was in this world of complete bleak and darkness. That was his happiest time.
I love that too, by the way. I've personally never seen a campaign where the players in it are kind of like father and son, and I just fucking love it. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I have one final. All right, y'all. It's time to wrap, but I have one final question that's been burning since
Yours are burning.
Mackenzie has been a part of this team. Mackenzie, out of pure curiosity, I've always wondered.
Yes.
Why is it that you made a male character instead of like a female character?
Yeah. So, I actually, surprisingly, I have more male characters than I have female. I only have one female character that I've ever created. Me alone, I get very attached to my characters. I don't make like thousands. I just have like a handful, but I like put a lot of story and energy into them. So like if for whatever reason, if Toddle dies, I have the next one like ready to go that I've already like thought up a lot of. And I think as being like a role player, a character creator, being an illustration for like so long throughout my life, I'm just able to really connect with the characters I create. So why did I choose a male even though I'm identify as female? I don't think it was any particular, like, it wasn't anything particular. It wasn't that I was like trying to, be different or anything like that. I just created this character. I had a vision in my head of what I saw for this campaign. And before this campaign started off, when we were just in character creation mode, and gosh, it was the three of us. It was Nate that did Dutch because he really wanted to make this like heavy metal character. And Butters created Lander, which was like, he really wanted this like the Witcher aesthetic. And had told us make some dark, characters with some dark pasts, and be ready. This isn't going to be like beautiful, happy Sunshine Land where everyone gets lollipops and you never have to go to the dentist. Like, this is gonna be a pretty fucked up world, and
root canals all day.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the root canals. So no, in my head, thinking of a character, I knew I wanted like some kind of little gremlin type thing. The artificer was the category I picked, and or class, and that was the first time I had done that class. And then I just like, once I picked a class, I just like steamed it from there. I was like, okay, rock gnome, okay, like dark past, like and then obviously worked with Butters to create like kind of this character bridge, which I've seen in a lot of campaigns before, which makes I just think is just great. I like the flavor of D&D when you get those juicy flavory bits. To me, that's what I enjoy when I watch it. So we jumped in on that, and that's the fact that he was a boy is just kind of I guess I had a vision of like, honestly, one of the creators that one of the characters that exists in media that I like kind of based him off of was Beast Boy from Teen Titans. I don't know why.
I love it.
Like there's not a whole lot of like similarities, like, but I just like really, really heavily thought of Beast Boy.
He's a moon druid. He's a moon druid for sure.
Yeah, he's not like my character's not a druid. He doesn't have green skin, but like for some reason, like just his demeanor and everything is from that. Like a lot of his appearance, his demeanor, like it was kind of the thing that when I thought Artificer, Rock Gnome, that was the first thing. Yeah. So like, just like a little hyper gremlin type energy.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
The fact that he was a boy just happened to be that.
I love it. I'm gonna go ahead and call the winner. We have 5 on the list. I'm gonna roll a d6. If I roll a 6, it's a reroll. Oh, and really quickly, just to put an answer on
There's another question.
Avaran's thing. Avaran's happiest memory. Well, he has 2. One of them is being like running free with his brother and like doing their like shady shit that they do together, like they were like thieves and stuff. So that's one of his happy memories, and like his other one is him just being with his mom and brother, just like hanging out. Like Avaran's a family guy too who misses his mom as well. So yes, I'm gonna roll this d6. Someone else can get that last question if there is one.
Any plans for another campaign? Well,
I wonder, Anne.
there is a campaign that I have already started. It's a science fiction 5e campaign about bounty hunters. So every session is like a micro arc or a tiny arc where it's like 2 to 3, sometimes 4 episodes long with a certain group of characters, and then the group of characters switch out. So there's like I think 9 or 10 characters total, but each arc is about 3 to 4 at a time. And so it's them just getting assigned a job, like take down this, like for example, there's this one character who's pretty much like a pirate, like he goes and loots different planets. And so the program sent these bounty hunters to this ocean planet at this like giant trade fish market to try to catch these pirates. And they do, and like fucking chaos ensues. But the likes of Eric is part of that campaign, GW as well, and Omar. A couple of Omar, a couple of people, and Avery and Butters. And there's also a couple of characters you haven't met before. Harold is one of them, and he's an actor in LA who's been on freaking a couple of different TV shows, including one on Netflix now. And his fiance and my personal bestie from high school, Amanda, who's an amazing character who plays an old creepy turtle. It's a turtle stats, but it's an armadillo lady.
Instantly fell in love with the character.
I mean, Amanda's amazing, and Harold's amazing.
I wanted to be her friend instantly when I saw that.
Oh, she's hilarious, dude.
Super fun game, so hopefully we're getting that started, but it seems like a couple of the players aren't really free until after the holidays. It's been after the holidays, but I'm thinking of aiming towards March, so we'll see. And if anyone's interested in chat, wants to be part of that campaign, you can contact me on Discord.
All right, so I rolled a d6, we rolled a 4, and that was I literally just had their name. Hold on, wait, let me Disfamist, you have won. I believe you're already in our Discord, I think, because your name sounds familiar, but just in case, Mackenzie, could you please in chat?
Yeah.
Disfamist, hit us up in the Discord, you know the thing. I'm pretty sure this is not your first time winning. hit us up so we can get your deets. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining. And do you want to? Before we do the thing, and Mackenzie, I'm gonna let you guys with chat figure out a rating message. I'm gonna find someone to raid. So have at it.
Oh
Okay.
gosh.
And
Recap, no cap. I don't know.
cap.
Oh, Evie and Cubone.
Oh yeah.
Or
Maybe and you.
is there? I'm sure there's a Cubone.
Yeah, the bone.
Damn, I have like a shitload of Gengar ones, but I don't.
Yes. What would Eevee's be? Like fluffy? No.
Oh, I should have just brought out my freaking Gengar plushie. I see Pikachu's.
Recap on Cubone.
Cubone, there we go.
Cubone.
We'll do that one. I'm into it.
Cue bone, 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 bone.
Cubone, bone, bone, bone. Ugh.
All right.
Good recap.
Thanks, guys. I could have done it without you. I loved everyone's insight copy. And what you added, and coming out of nowhere with these facts that I did not think I was going to be hearing tonight. I loved it.
Yeah, extra lore for us. Good she.
Yes, thank you all
Yep.
for being here, chilling with us on our first stream back of the new year. It took us half the month, but we did it. We're here.
Yep.
We are going to raid a good friend of ours.
Ooh.
We're going to go raid the existential nerd.
Yeah, they're streaming.
Oh, nice.
Heck yeah.
We have to do that.
So, Anne, do you want to give everyone the closeout before we press the button?
Yes, thank you guys so much for joining us for the recap. It was such a chill, just kind of get to know us episode and just reviewing on the year 2023 and the story that's been unfolding so far. This campaign is about to turn the tide now, so things are gonna get for reals, and I'm super excited about it. So please do join us every Monday at 6:00 p.m. PST.
6:30.
See what 6:30 and see what happens to our characters.
Please save us, and also save us. If you sub, you can save us. Did you know?
Yes, they will fucking need it.
Don't kill my boy.
But stay tuned. Love you all so much.
And thanks for joining us.
Yep, and in Discord, plug your favorite Pokemon. Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.